Hey everyone, this is Oscar from Underdog, and today we're doing a little sound design challenge. I'm going to make this today. But I'm just nodding my head to silence because I haven't made it yet and I don't know yet what I'm gonna make. But the point is that I want to teach you today the beauty of resonators, dub effects, and polymeters when they're used in conjunction. And so I want to give you inspiration for a compositional idea, but first I'm going to walk you through the concept in 4 steps. First, we're going to see what a resonator does on white noise. Then we're going to see what a resonator does on a more percussive loop. Then we're going to see what it feels like when we add some dub effects. And then in the 4th and last step, it's really going to come alive when we add them in polymeters over a simple drum beat. Come along with me on this journey. You already know where we end up. I don't, but we're going to find out together. Some essentials: headphones, coffee, water, airplane mode, and a blank Ableton canvas. So the main tool that I want you to become familiar with today, the thing that sparked this whole thing, is the resonator. And the resonator is an audio effect that you can find right here. And if I drop it, you can see it's an audio effect. It needs something to go into it. And so the simplest thing to go into a resonator would be just white noise, because what a resonator then does is it chooses certain frequencies within that white noise and then turns them into sort of a chord. Here, let's put a spectrum analyzer on there as well, and a simple operator that's going to play white noise. White noise will look and sound like this, all frequencies being pretty much equal. And then we're going to put on a resonator, and okay, it's not super clear what it's doing, right? First, let's make it fully wet. All right, it's resonating at a certain frequency. It's already got this kind of metallic sound to it. And resonators really start coming into their own when you don't just trigger random frequencies, but rather a chord. And particularly, I'm more interested in kind of dark chords, so minor chords. So you would say, for example, the root note would be C, plus 3 semitones would be a minor interval, plus 7 semitones would be the major fifth. So you'd get something like that. And so I'm more interested in also adding the 10 and also adding the 14. Yeah. This is a 9th chord. And so now that we've got this chord, we can start messing with things like the decay, or the filter that pre-filters the noise that's coming in, like up higher, down lower. Now you can use resonators to create these like long sort of bowl sounds, almost like a gong or something, right? But the things that I'm more interested in is I'm more interested in it sort of having a more percussive envelope. So rather than sustained white noise, I'm just going to do plucked white noise like this. I think this is beautiful. It's very quiet though. So let's immediately slam an OTT on there. Amazing. And if this is already kind of doing it for you, then let's maybe just add in a little LFO where you just map it to the color, for example. There's depth obviously a lot less, and rate also a lot less. Here, let's program a simple riff. Gorgeous. And thanks to the LFO, the color is now slowly evolving. Lovely, right? So you can just add LFOs to whatever you like. And just add some reverb. All right, that was step 1, and I'm pretty happy with that. Noise into resonator. Now, perk into resonator. For percussion to go into the resonator, all we need is a percussive loop. Let me see what I've got. So this is a percussion loop. It's got a lot of vibe in it already. So what we're gonna do is I'm literally just gonna copy over my resonator because I'm that lazy. Love this. And now, because I don't want this chord to be the exact same as the other chord when I play them together, I'm going to change the root note. So instead of a C, I might just do the G. Sounds good. And I'm gonna mess a little bit with the exact sound of this. So now I'll show you what it sounds like with a couple of different percussion loops. When in doubt, slap an OTT on there if the volume isn't. Wow, that makes such a difference. So as you can see, we get a lot more sort of diverse expression of that percussion compared to this one is clearly always the same source sound, expressed differently. So if we do different source sounds, then the expression gets even more diverse. Let me spice up these loops with some LFOs as well. All right, so one thing I want to do here is I want to make this loop less busy. I want to make it more sparse. And so how would we do that? Well, we can see here, we can see each individual hit. We can go here on the left and find ourselves the envelopes thingy. Don't worry if you get lost, I always get lost as well. And you would just go to clip, for example, gain. And then if you hit B, you have your little pencil and you can just take down everything. Hop. And this way you can draw in individual hits, right? So maybe I want this one and just a little one. Oh, that's fun. All right. Now we're losing our sense of where we are in the loop, and that's actually kind of nice because in this next step, I want us to use dub effects. That's part 3, right? Dub effects is essentially just long delays. That's really all we're going to think about here. And I'm just going to use Ableton's basic delay. It defaults to 3/8 notes, very simple. But it creates these little swirls. I love it on really high feedback. And that's why we need this loop to be very sparse. This is delicious now. Now let's put it to ping pong. I don't know if you are on headphones, but if you are, suddenly this thing has gotten suddenly very wide and spacious. And now let's see what it feels like when we combine it with the other loop. Oh yeah. Now I'm suddenly very happy with what we've done. Wow, cool. Excellent. Let's also put a dub delay on that original one. Set it to 5. 3 and 5 are somehow the magic numbers when it comes to dub delays, from my point of view. It's a bit busy, so let's keep this very minimal. Okay, I'm really enjoying these 2 layers that we've got. We've got one in the mids and one in the highs. So now I feel like we should do step number 4, which is to create some kind of polymeter. And I feel like there's space for a more bassy resonance hit as well for that polymeter. So I'm going to make a 3rd one, of which the goal is to program it in a polymeter and make it deep. By the way, if you're liking this process and this video so far, leave me a comment. Maybe consider subscribing if you're not already. And if you like learning from me more generally, maybe go follow my foundations course. Anyway, enough about that. Let's make another one and call it deep. And the only constraint here is that we have to use a resonator. There's another resonator device called spectral resonator, which is also really nice. And I think I did a video on that when I did a video on shadow harmonies and shadow grooves. So I won't use it. I'll just stick with the regular resonator. And let's just give ourselves another burst of white noise. Yes. But let's immediately pre-filter this to go down deeper. Like really deep. Just make it a bit louder. Okay, let's see what happens now. I want the root notes of this resonator to be really quite low. So let's make it the low G maybe. So it creates something where the fundamental frequency is about 100 Hertz. I want to go even lower, G0. And when we make a little MIDI clip, the point here is that we have to make it a polymeter, right? And let's not make it super short. Let's make it at least 7 quarter notes. So 1.5 3 in length. And let's not hit the downbeat, but rather this beat, for example. And should we draw in something? Yeah, here, boom, like this. Cool. Yeah, let's keep it minimalist. Now we're arriving. So I filter the input, but then I turn off the filter on the resonator. Now I want it in mode A. Let's make this bassy one very mono. Love it. These are all very dynamic signals, so our limiter's going all over the place. Let's give ourselves some headroom. Let's find a polymeter that's fun. Right now I'm not feeling this. Alright, now we've got a pattern that's sort of swirling around itself. Let's add in a kick drum to get that metronome to really feel how this all fits together. Excellent. And so now, with the magic of filters, we can just slowly bring some of these elements in and out. See, you just bring them in, little flashes of them. Here, let me go put filters on all 3 of them. Now, mapping all 3 of these filters to a little MIDI controller, that would be kind of magical. Because then you can record yourself doing the whole take, you know? Here, let's bring this one in again. It's gonna sound so good. Oh yeah. And you know, for the drums, let's do the high pass filter. Da, 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 and then put it back down. Of course, with mouse and keyboard, you can only kind of control one thing, which is a bit of a shame. You just create this, like, I don't know, this beautiful, intricate sound world. I just left it at 120 BPM. You can do this at faster or slower, depending on what you want to achieve. It's fun, no? I could do this for hours. This is so much fun. And now for my own rough and dirty mastering, I would probably whack a little Pro L on there. See what happens when I push things up. These are good numbers, but not too much reduction. I'm very happy with that. Tonal balance, probably way too much sub. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Send some of these things to the reverb on the send and the return channel. Just this in itself, I already love. And then you can let things fade out. And when you put stop on the source material, let the delay slowly tail it off. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm very happy for Oscar from the intro, who didn't know yet what this was going to sound like. Because sometimes when I say I'm going to create something, it doesn't sound good. Anyway, leave a comment to let me know what you thought of this. If any of this was confusing, go follow one of my Foundations of Electronic Music courses. And until next time, stay producing, be good to each other, and take care. Bye-bye. Coffee, water, airplane mode. Coffee, water, airplane mode. Coffee, water, airplane mode.